It has been exactly a month since the release of my debut novel, Forsaken Thrones, so here's my update. Reminder, I'm an indie author, so I wrote, published, designed the cover, drew the map, hired an editor, all by myself. As of today, the book has 4.8 out of 5 stars with over 100 reviews on Amazon. Almost 3,300 copies have been sold and 207,000 pages have been read on Kindle Unlimited, which is roughly around 440 bucks. I am learning more and more about this industry every single day, and I am 100% confident that my second book in the series is going to be even better. I would absolutely not be as successful with my debut novel if it wasn't for all of you. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm excited to continue sharing my stories, and if you want any more information about indie publishing or updates, let me know.
Come with me on day one of starting a brand new novel. Day one of a new project is very ceremonial for me. So I do a lot of the things that symbolize a fresh start, like cleaning, lighting brand new candles, bringing in all the positive energy I possibly can. I currently have 2 indie published novels, and I haven't yet decided my publishing path for this third one. It's a completely different genre, and I'm looking forward to the challenge. When I start a new novel, I get a new keyboard. I loved this keyboard so much, and I'm sad to see her go, but we are moving on. This time I went for more of a classic look. Getting a new keyboard when I start a new novel really does contribute to the fresh start feeling. Plus, my keys are usually worn on the one prior. I do stick to similar models so my fingers don't have to figure out new keys. And the keyboards usually range between like $30 and $40 each, so it's not a huge expense. And if you're wondering, they're from Amazon. I consider myself to be somewhere in between a plotter and a pantser, so this day one process is usually about doing a 3-act structure, which is kind of the only outline that I do before starting to actually write the novel. But before I start anything, I like to journal. I keep one of these little notebooks for each book that I write, and I kind of document my process. It's fun to look back on later. I create a new folder on my desktop to stay organized as I jump into a new project. Then I go through and start building my 3-act structure. The characters and parts of the plot have been in my head for months, so plugging them all in here doesn't take me too long. And then after a couple hours, it's time for coffee, of course. While I'm going through the 3 acts, I'm also thinking of character arcs, jotting down notes as needed. I don't do a chapter-by-chapter outline until I'm done writing my first draft. I like to give myself creative freedom in the drafting process at the beginning. Then after a few hours, my 3-act structure was done and I am ready to celebrate. This third book is being celebrated with burgers. Really good ones. Cheers!
I think my problem is that I don't want to start a book. I just already want to be like 40% of the way in.
I'll give you 19 completed chapters.
Literally all you have to do.
Finish these last 2.
Here are 3 absolutely terrible ways to start your novel. Hi, I'm John Matthew Fox, and I am a traditionally published author. I make these videos to be helpful, not hurtful. So if you fall into one of these categories, I'm sorry, but also you're welcome. 1. Don't start with the character waking up. Unless they're waking up being transformed into a cockroach or being eaten by a dragon, it's simply never interesting. 2. Introduce a bunch of characters. If you introduce 10 characters in the first 3 pages, I'm just gonna feel confused. 3. Start with a dream sequence. Never a good idea.
I heard that you're trying to get through 50 pages a day to meet your deadline. What day are you on? How many pages have you done? Day 1, and I am on page 12. Okay, now it's day 2. What page are you on now? Page 12. But farther down page 12. But only by like 4 sentences. Okay, day 3. What page are you on now? Oh, I made progress. Now I'm on page 22. Listen, I've been crunching the numbers and I don't think you're doing math correctly. My math is fine. It's everything else that's not fine. I honestly don't see how you're going to finish on time. Oh, ye of little deadlines. Don't worry. Okay, I'll just come back at the end and check on you. Yeah. Okay, it's your deadline day. How's it going? As of yesterday, I was on page 29 and now I'm done! How?
Hi everyone, my name is Alice Oseman and I am the author and illustrator of Heartstopper, and I have some very big news to share today, so I thought I would do it in video form so you can see my face. Hello. Firstly, Volume 5 is coming out on November 9th, 2023. So excited to finally share a release date. I've been working really hard on the pages, so as long as I don't get behind, it'll be out in November in the UK, Ireland, Australia and New Zealand. And for all the other amazing readers of Heartstopper around the world, keep an eye on the social media of the publisher who publishes Heartstopper in your country, and hopefully they will have some news for you at some point. So Volume 5 will see the Heartstopper gang looking towards the future. Summer is on its way. Charlie has been working really hard on his mental health and he is starting to find an inner confidence in who he is, what he wants to do with his life, while Nick is having a little bit of a crisis about where he's going to go to university, because he'll have to make his university application choices very soon. And is he going to go somewhere far away or stay close to where Charlie is? We'll see. Secondly, and this will probably be a surprise to most of you, Volume 5 will not be the final volume of Heartstopper. There is going to be a Volume 6. Volume 6 will be the final volume of Heartstopper. So many of you all know that I've said that Volume 5 will be the last volume for quite a long time, so I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about why I've made this decision. So I began working on Volume 5 about 2 years ago, and by 2022 I was really struggling with it. Wasn't feeling confident about where the story was going, all the pages I was drawing, and I was really struggling to balance working on it with the yearbook and with making the TV show, writing season 2. And it was just turning into something that I wasn't really happy with, so I decided to cold turkey stop making the comic for a little while, just to kind of take a step back, reassess, get my brain in a better space. So while I was taking that break from the comic, I figured out that I was trying to fit too much into Volume 5, and the story would have a better ending if I split it into 2 books. And I was really scared to do that because that's a lot more work, but it was the right thing to do. I can take my time with the end of the story, make sure all of the characters get their final moment to shine, and properly explore how Nick and Charlie's relationship progresses in their final years of school. I really hope you're excited to see a little bit more Heartstopper than originally planned. Yeah, that's my news. Thank you so much for listening. Yeah. Mwah.